दास निबस प्रियमृत परस दास निबस प्रियमृत परस दास निबस से विपद जुगल सदा भरा अनुरागे से विपद जुगल सदा भरा अनुरागे আজি মুখ হতে মোরা মন কথা তোম লাগে আজি মুখ হতে মোরা মন কথা তোম লাগে আজি মুখ হতে মোরা অন্তকালে দেব দেখা আহে চিরদিন সখা অন্তকালে দেব দেখা আহে চিরদিন সখা অন্তকালে দেব দেখা
জয় গুরু। অন্তর দেবতা আস হে সুদ সিংহাসনে বস অন্তর দেবতা আস হে সুদ সিংহাসনে বস তোমার পশিরে নয়নে হেরি হে তোমার পশিরে নয়নে হেরি হে করুণাময় তুতিব মন পরাস তুতিব মন পরাস হৃদয় দুয়ার খোলি হে কেতে আশা মনে ভরি হৃদয় দুয়ার খোলি হে केते आशा मने भरी बसी अछि परा जागर जाली हे बसी अछि परा जागर जाली हे करुणामय मुखे जय गुरु बोली मुखे जय गुरु बोली राग सुहाग जेते छाईतिछि हृदगते राग सुहाग जेते छाईतिछि हृदगते ढाली देवी तुम श्रीपद प्रान्ते ढाली देवी तुम श्रीपद प्रान्ते करुणामय प्रेम भक्ति सहिते प्रेम भक्ति सहिते केते काळु एही परी हे नामटिया सरा करी केते काळु एही परी हे नामटिया सरा करी असरा सारा असरा धरी हे असरा सारा असरा धरी हे करुणामय बसी अछि अनुसरी
मोचन पूज्य बर गुणहीन शेष गुणाधिपति भवभीरुजने सत तंबरद प्रणमामि गुरुं शिवकल्पतरुं प्रणमामि गुरुं शिवकल्पतरुं
चरण तले प्रेम माया तुम चरण तले कोटि मणिका दीपाली जले कोटि मणिका दीपाली जले जगत धन्य तुम पथ चाही
जगत
धन्य तुम पद पूजा परम पुण्य तुम पद पूजा परम पुण्य तुमार तीरा मंगल महरी तुमार तीरा मंगल महरी मोरा जीवन रे पुलक ढळे मोरा जीवन रे पुलक ढळे प्रेममय तुम चरण तळे प्रेममय
तुम
चरण तळे गीत भागवत गुमार कथा गीत भागवत गुमार कथा तुमरी प्राणरा अमर गाथा तुमरी प्राणरा अमर गाथा तुमरी भवना भावर सधना तुमरी भवना भावर सधना थळा दे भावा सागर जळे थळा दे भावा सागर जळे प्रेममय तुम चरण तळे प्रेममय तुम चरण तळे कोटि मणिका दीपाळी जळे कोटि मणिका
दीपाळी जळे
प्रेममय तुम चरण तळे चित्त जगे तुम चेतन पाई चित्त जगे तुम चेतन पाई अभय शीश मथारी अभय शीश मथारी निद भांगी दे बाउला बयसी निद भांगी दे बाउला बयसी बजाइले तुमी कदम्ब मूळे बजाइले तुमी कदम्ब मूळे प्रेममय तुम चरण तळे प्रेममय तुम चरण तळे कोटि मणिका दीपाळी जळे करे निखिल भुवन नंदित करे बंदन तुम उछुली पड़े बंदन तुम उछुली पड़े प्रेम माया तुम चरण तले प्रेम माया तुम चरण तले प्रेम माया तुम चरण तले.
Jai Guru. Nigam Upadesha. Achievement of pure love. Your surrendered life will be the embodiment and manifestation of bright ideal and ceaseless action done through thousands of works in an unattached manner. You will teach the world the right way of action. It's called yoga. Consequently, yoga will manifest spontaneously on the path of self-surrender. If one is not unattached, dispassionate, and thoroughly firm, one cannot perform any action correctly. Man is dying by toiling, but the deposit of debris from different directions trails its way into that toil. Only by accepting actions on the path of surrender, man can remain aloof from it. Listen, I like to tell you a very important thing. Those who love me can easily bring the development of mind, but those who only chase rules and regulations fail to secure development so easily. Do you know its reason? When man grabs only rules and regulations, he estranges himself from the purpose of such rules and regulations. So there remains no hope for self-awakening in the midst of rules and actions. I have a good number of devotees who have acquired several invaluable experiences simply by their pure love for me. They have not touched scriptures, but in them have manifested several amazing and lofty spiritual tattwas. I do not mean that scholarship has no value. On the other hand, fusion of experience and erudition is as pleasant as bending of gold and gems. But how many of us deserve it? Only by love and affection, the entity of Guru manifests in man. For this reason, Sri Gurudev, instead of entrusting the responsibility, Gurudev on learned and scholarly disciples bestows it on simple and honest disciples. If one does not have faith without any hypocrisy, one cannot get the real dues from Gurudev. भाई आगू पढ़िए ना
भाई थाओ जय गुरु भाई जय थाओ सेठी
जय गुरु जय गुरु minutes of last session. Nirachal Saraswata Sangha Puri, America Saraswata Sangha, 683 Sangha Puja session report, 9/15/2019. Paliya Sushilva Yanitama and Pratyus. Adivas Puja 9/14/2015 was held in Asan Mandira at 7 p.m. Eastern Time in the presence of local Mahabhai and aspirants. Attendance it is available in the website. First session 7:15 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time. First session Puja started at 7:15 a.m. Eastern Time with Pratiksha sung by Deva
and Smita Bhai Ma. Arati was performed by Sanajit Bhai, followed by Vandana Pandey Sri Gurucharani and Sutta Vandana by Vishwajit Bhai. Jana Bhai read the Paribrajakacharya, followed by Sankrani and Asana Mandira Vidya Puja Prarthana. Rasmi Pima read Vandana Prarthana and Prarthana Karika Prati from Sangha Sevaka. Shashta Panchasasya Bhaga Prathama Sankhya, then Anjalima recited verse 16:8 from Sri Guru Gita. Then Sushil Bhai invited Sri Sri Thakur, all Bhai and young aspirants for Balya Bhoga, following the puja section of the day to start at 9:45 am Eastern Time. After which Asana Mandir was closed with Jaigur Namakirtana and Pranam. Second session of the puja started at 9:45 am Eastern Time with Apahana sung by Rasmima and Gyana Bhai. This was followed by Pranam Gana and opening of Prasana. Vrindavan Bhai sang Vandana, followed by Vijay Bhai with the Nigam Upadesa, page 222 to 223. Self-realization, Shivani M. Bhai Ma did the maids of Last Sangha Puja and Prithviraj Bhai with Premika Guru, preface page 1 to 4. Shivani Ma sang the Prarthana. Then Kishore Bhai did Sansara Pathe, part 1. This was followed by Grana Bhai, the question and answer session. The ungaspirant session was commenced with Prarthana Sangita sung by Bhakti. Varada Bhai started with taking attendance and started the chapter 8 discussion, followed by question and answer session. After the Bhava Vinima was done by Bhakti, Sushil Bhai and Anita Ma, Sushil Bhai did the invite for Madhyana Bhoga and evening puja. Ashwini Bhai did the invite for the next Sangha Puja to be held on 9/22. Sushil Bhai asked Sri Thakur and all Bhai for forgiveness for mistake and error committed deliberately or unintentionally for the Sangha Puja and during Puja section. Amritama sang the Vidya Pradhana, Dayama Sri Charani, followed by Jaigur Namakirtana, Pranam, and Asana was closed. At the end, Gyana Bhai took the attendance for all Bhai and Ma for the Puja. Sri Sita Consult the Sister Bhai. Joy.
Joy from a Premika Guru, Purva Sangha, Deva Bhakti. What is Bhakti? If one wants to attain Bhakti, one has to first understand what Bhakti is. Ha Pora Anurakti Ishware Sandilya Sutra. The sage Sandilya has said the supreme love for Parameshwara, that is Supreme God, is called Bhakti. That which attracts compassion of God and fulfills all desires is termed Bhakti. In simple words, Bhakti means absolute love for Bhagavan, God. Ha Tasmai Parama Prema Rupa, Narada Sutra. On forgetting jnana and karma, ambition and desire, joys and sorrows, religion and not religion, dharma dharma, wealth and majesty, wife and children, and even oneself, the singular and supreme love for God is precisely called Bhakti. Prahlada, the great devotee, has said, Ya priti avivekanam visayesu amapayini tam tvam anusmaratah tame hridayat na apasarpatu. Vishnu Purana. O God, awaken in me deep love for you, just as unscrupulous people have intense passion for sensual gratification. It essentially implies that love for God without any consideration of hope for truth is indeed bhakti. He who attains such devotion is a bhakta. In fact, a devotee forgets himself for God. He remains engrossed in such deep devotion, considering God as his own and realizes him everywhere. He feels extremely glorified on visualizing his all-pervading presence in water, earth, sun, moon, planets, stars, clouds, sky, sea, rivers like Ganga, Godavari, etc. Pilgrimages like Kashi, Proyag, etc. Fire, air, people tree, banyan tree, and all bodies suggestive of his omnipresence and surrendering completely oneself with mind, wisdom, ego, and all tattwas at his lotus feet. He prays with profound yearning, O God, all belong to you, and you are everything for all. I do not know the canons of Japa, Tapa, Puja, Homa, and Japa. I do not know anything except you. I do not want anything except you. If I find you within, I shall feel myself hugely fortunate. O my dearest, be kind and keep me as a tiny dust at your feet. Bhagavan is also under the spell of such bhava bhakti. No other thing delights him so much as the offering of love of a devotee. A devotee prays him sincerely. He cannot but come before him. If a devotee prays him sincerely, he cannot but come before him. If offered with utmost devotion, the metallic idol accepts rice. The stone idol develops an aperture in a nose to wear a nose ring. The Shalagrama Shila stretches arms to wear ornaments. But impossible becomes possible only by the power of devotion. Therefore, nothing is unachievable in the world by devotion. That is why Nrsimha, the God incarnate, emerged from within the crystal pillar due to deep devotion of the great devotee Prahlada. Bhagavan is only won over by a devotee. He becomes a puppet in the hands of a devotee. The mind reposing singularly on the divine with all indriyas is called bhakti. In other words, bhakti may also be defined as absolute and singular centralization of will forces on self within. He assumes condensed form due to singular channelization of will force. Just as seawater freezes to ice in extreme cold, similarly, formless, infinite, and immutable Chinmaya Bhagavan reveals himself as the embodiment of knowledge due to singular will force of a devotee. The omnipresent entity manifests itself in the form as desired by the devotee. For example, just as a formidable and powerful justice, in spite of high qualification, wisdom, and position, is compelled to behave as a horse due to the request of his baby son. Similarly, the great omnipresent and omniscient God assumes the form as desired by a devotee because of his earnest insistence. The public shrink and fear to talk to this justice, but his son forces him to act like a horse by pulling his beard. I think the mustache and anyway, it is true that others are overwhelmed by visualizing God's formidable world-pervading form and colossal greatness, but the blessed devotee, who by the divine grace treats God as his own, visualizes him in the desired and dearest loving form. Such tattva can never be realized in any other way without the grace of God. Many people are of the impression that jnana is opposed to bhakti. This impression has generated prolonged dispute between jnana and bhakti in our country. In this connection, there has been sustained argument and counter-argument over the topic whether jnana is great or bhakti is great. The sadhakas of bhakti are mad. Again, the sadhakas of bhakti ignore the sadhakas of jnana as dry and unloving. None of them think of the future poisonous impact of their unbecoming behavior. There is no space for any such thought in the mind eclipsed by violence and jealousy. Devotees opine that there is sweetness in jnana, but that is very dry as sugar candy. Jnana is but it lacks sweetness, just like milk. But none of them understand when milk and sugar candy are mixed up through stirring, it will produce a condensed triplex nectar, which will be an extremely sweet and tasty drink. Jnani should realize that sugar candy never loses its identity, even if it is invisible on a dissolution in milk. Again, devotees should understand that milk tastes different with the help of sugar candy, but it does not change its form. On the other hand, sugar candy will fairly enhance its sweetness. Moreover, neither jnanis nor bhaktas understand that foundation of dharma is established on sacred fusion of jnana and bhakti. Since common people do not know such secrets of dharma, today hundreds of parasitic shops have grown on alpapadapa of Hindu religion and have rendered glorious tree of dharma to a weak, slender and dry piece of wood. Therefore, jnana is never opposed to bhakti. Of course, the behavioral knowledge may often be contrary to devotion, but devotion does not exist in the absence of jnana. Ananda, bliss, can hardly blossom forth without chitta being nourished. The sanskaras of mind grow through senses, chasing worldly enjoyment. This growth leads to attainment of jnana. The attainment of jnana ensures spontaneous advent of devotion. As soon as bhakti ushers in, there is no need of jnana. It is also evident from the scripture, jnanena jayam alokya jnanam paschat parityajet, Uttar Gita. Once the knowledge objective of jnana is achieved through jnana, what is the need of jnana anymore? When a sadhaka realizes him on the basis of tattva, he does away with jnana, and jnana goes away of its own accord. Jnana and bhakti are like uterine brother and sister. If bhakti visits anywhere without informing jnana, the elder brother, he cautions, rebukes bhakti, the younger sister, and brings her back to the right path. For that reason, it is often noticed that the heart which partakes of the growth of devotion in turn of time and in the event of disaster becomes the citadel of terrific dance of devil. As a result, the heart is reverberated with the stony and grim cacophony of atheism instead of the sweet melody of devotion. But where jnana establishes bhakti, there bhakti does not exhibit any trace of shyness. Since jnana is the elder brother, bhakti, the younger sister, always lives with him with delicious humility and shyness. Especially, jnana is like a male person. It is not possible on his part to enter all places of inner closet. But bhakti, sweet girl, has genuine and easy access to all parts of it. Bhakti never visits places where malicious arguments and counter-arguments, pride and egoism are let loose. She needs pure, simple and sacred places for dwelling. She does not share discriminating intelligence and accompanies jnana. The place where both brother and sister live together is illuminated with celestial light. That place will be filled with the sweet fragrance of Paribrajakacharya, the holy river Mandakini from heaven will spontaneously flow upstream and flood that place with a sweet stream of milk. Then jnana will keep a vigilant and loving eye on his sister from behind, and bhakti, the sister, will as such go on playing and rejoicing alone without any hesitation. Bhakti, the sweet and jubilant young girl, illuminating white and soothing light, occupies the heart of a devotee in the form of presiding deity and opens the door of the heart. In addition, the whole world is filled with joy. The heart is flooded with streams of love and peace. The devotee is immensely delighted to notice one and all dancing in the lap of the goddess of joy. It is wrong to think that jnana is an obstacle in the path. On the other hand, there is intense love and affection between the brother and sister. One cannot live for a while in another's absence. If anybody recognizes someone as jnani, it is found on the inquiry that bhakti stands behind him humbly, humbly and with shyness holding the hand of Jnana, the elder brother. Similarly, if someone probes the heart of a devotee, it is found that devotion occupies the seat in the lap of Jnana. For some reason, since the god of Jnana will stand in front to protect it. It is affirmed in the Srimad Bhagavata how the unlettered gopis, devoid of discriminating intelligence, left Sri Krishna speechless. Full moon night, when he endeavored variously to desist them from exuberant effusion of devotion, these innocent gopis, the embodiment of love and devotion, came running to Sri Krishna to be united with him. That is why I say, how can you deny the existence of jnana or bhakti on noticing excess of either of them? The presence of one cannot deny the existence of another, because both are bound to each other by an inseparable bond. Hence, jnana is not opposed to bhakti. Rather, jnana always accompanies and establishes bhakti. However, it will be enough to know that one's bhakti entirely occupies the heart. Where is then the juice of a mango? Person who has tasted its sweetness, jnana can visit alone any place he likes, but he does not agree to allow bhakti, the younger sister, to visit alone all places. If the younger sister visits alone all places, if required, he often cautions and draws her towards him. Bhakti cannot move anywhere in the absence of jnana. Hence, I tell you that jnana is never opposed to bhakti. Rather, it is a founder of bhakti. Of course, jnana is no more required once the goddess wanders joyfully and unhesitantly with smile and cheerful dance. Jnana means complete faith in God. Reading of some books or acquisition of information is not jnana. To have undoubted faith in the existence of God, or in simple words, to realize the ultimate divine entity is called jnana. How can devotion dwell in the heart that harbors even an iota of doubt or confusion? So it is proof when mind is purified by karma yoga and atma paramatma tattva is realized by jnana yoga, Bhakti Devi will spontaneously come and firmly occupy her own seat in the heart. God is realized only by such devotion. What power does Jiva possess by which it can control the infinite, omnipotent divine entity? How much knowledge does a Jiva have such that, being a glowworm, it can illuminate the sun with its feeble light? The supremacy of devotion and devotees in the following sloka: Apichet sudura charo bhajate mam ananya bhat sadhu deva samantavya samyak devasito hi saha chiprang bhavati dharmatma satsat shanting nigachati konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranasyati. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, verses 30 to 31. O Arjun, even if a man of very bad conduct worship me without singular devotion, the man is verily a sadhu who has acquired thorough knowledge. He who worships me in such manner soon becomes a religious person and attains eternal peace. O Kaunteya, just know that my devotee never yields to annihilation. Devotee is immortal. Bhagavan has portrayed the features of such devotion thus: Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara sama dukkha sukhakshami santushtah satatam yogi grahanischaya mai advita manobuddhi jo madbhakta same priya jasmat na dvijate loko lokat na dvijate chadaha sta amarsa bhaya udvaigahi mukto jasa sacha me priya अनपेक्ष सूचि दक्ष उदासीनो कतव्यथ सर्वारंभ परित्यागी जो मद्भक्त सौम्य प्रिय जो न भृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न अशुभ परित्यागी भक्तिमान च सौम्य प्रिय तमः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मान अपमानयो शीत उष्ण सुख दुःखेषु समः संग विवर्जितः तुल्य निंदा स्तुति मौनी संतुष्ट जेन केनचित् अनिकेतः स्थिरमतिः भक्तिमान मे प्रियो नरः jetu dharma amrutam nidam jathoktam varjupasate sabdhana mat parama bhaktah te ativa me. Chapter 12 verses 13 to 20. I think we should stop after this paragraph. It's already time. The devoted person who is devoid of jealousy, kind, unattached, egoless, equanimous in joys and sorrows, forgiving, ever contented, balanced in mind, firm conviction, and has surrendered his mind and intelligence to me, is indeed very dear to me. He who is not an worry to people and emptied of uncalled for laughter, sorrow, fear, and anxiety is dear to me. He who is desireless, pure, efficient, impartial, mentally immune to pains and sorrows, reluctant to embark on new endeavor, unattached to the result, in fact, dear to me. Who is devoted to me on forsaking tears, laughter, jealousy, ambition, virtues, and vices, is dear to me. He who, on abandoning all attachment, treats equally foes and friends, honor and humiliation, hot and cold, joy and sorrow, loud and proud, is dear to me. He who is serene, silent, satisfied with the minimum, unwilling to live for a long period at one place, stable in mind and devotion, is my dear devotee. He who is engrossed in my thought, absorbed in enjoying the nectar of thought dharma, is extremely dear to me. Oh reader, did you learn the necessary quality of a devotee? One does not become a devotee by keeping a pigtail, wearing a garland of beads around the neck, or decorating the whole body with a paste of gopimritika. On the other hand, it necessitates to acquire the aforesaid precious qualities to become a true devotee. Moreover, just by keeping the eyes shut, oscillating intermittently, the lips with desperation like a vector fish at intervals, and uttering the holy words superficially with loud voice, Gopi Vallabha, Ana Vallabha, one does not attain devotion. So Bhagavan has said, Jetu sarvani karmani, moi sanyata matvaha, anunya naiva jogena, man dhayam to upasate, tesam aham samudhatta, mrityu samsara sagarat, bhavami no chirat partha, moi obesita chetasam. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 12 chapters, so-called verses 6 and 7. Those who surrendering all actions unto me, meditate and worship me with singular devotion, are instantly liberated by me from the sea of this mortal world. Hence, bhakti is the quintessence of worship of the divine. Tapasya, japa, and worship by a devotionless person are futile like the endeavor with expectation to have a baby from an infertile woman. A true sadhaka does not desire anything but devotion. It is not just possible to portray in words the condition of a devotee through devotion. Prema bhakti gradually emerges from the practice of bhakti. A devotee is then lost in the higher paradigm of love, embodied in Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vachalya, and Kanta Bhava, suggestive of Madhura Lila. A sadhaka then visualizes the existence of God pervading all places and objects. He realizes Vistara Sarvabhutasya Vishnu Vishwam Idam Jagat Drashtavyam Atmavat Tasmat Abhedena Vichakshanahi Vishnu Prana. The whole world is only the manifestation of all pervading Vishnu. So a wise person sees himself inseparable from others. But it is true that no one can attain devotion so long as he has an iota of discriminating wisdom. The idol of Hara Gauri of the mythology is a bright example of simplicity. Mahadev is the embodiment of Jnana and Gauri of Prema. So the hardship of Hara sacrifice is illuminated by the sweet love of Gauri. If the source of light is not covered with transparent glass, it will appear slightly white and pale, but if it is covered with a transparent glass, it will produce serene and sweet light. Similarly, when jhana is replete with love, the light of jhana emits serene and delicious beam and provides celestial contentment to a sadhaka. When a devotee attains siddhi, that is perfection, in bhakti yoga, he merges Jagannath, the universe manifests with his own self by the help of love and devotion. Joy.
Enjoy, Guru. প্রান্তে মথানাই পদ প্রান্তে মথানাই এহি কৃপা কর হে পরাণ সাই এহি কৃপা কর হে পরাণ সাই সেবা করে মন দে সেবা করে মন দে মঙ্গলা ধরাই মোহাতে না দিল মোর ভসাই মঙ্গলা ধরাই মোহাতে না দিল মোর ভসাই কেমিতি বাহিবি হেন কাকুহ কেমিতি বাহিবি হেন কাকুহ লক্ষে লহরে রাই লক্ষে লহরে রাই মঙ্গলা ধরাই মোহাতে না দিল মোর ভসাই মঙ্গলা ধরাই মোহাতে না দিল মোর ভসাই। জয় গুরু।
জয় গুরু। Sansarapte Part 1, Chapter 3. The Ideal Outward Behavior. Great seers have advised to be happy when you see others happy, to express empathy when you see others perform holy deeds, but ignore the sins. Be happy when others are happy and don't be jealous. When you practice to be happy with others, then the flames of your jealousy will disappear. Your outward behavior and manners need to be such that you are respected and loved by all. Develop yourself in a manner that your wife will regard you as the godly husband that no one has. Your children will think of you as the most affectionate father that no one can have. Friends will like you for your unique friendliness. Your landlord will see you as his perfect tenant. Your subjects will regard you as the special king and that others don't have. You have to love everyone, give them happiness, and make their lives full of sweetness. You give everyone to the last penny and stay steadfast towards your own goal. Respect the truth. One and no one belongs to you. As you're always trying to bring comfort to yourself, similarly wish good things for others in misery. As you become satisfied with your good deeds, similarly be happy when you see others do good and virtuous things. When you see someone commit a sin, don't carry hatred for the sinner. Keep a neutral disposition for him without judging the good or bad. Hate the sin, but be kind-hearted to the sinner. By this behavior, the deep-seated impurity from your mind will erode. Practice kindness when you become angry. Devotion when you're overcome with desire. When you practice sattvic traits to counteract each rajasika and tamasika attributes, your heart and soul will gradually purify and get empowered with the energy of concentration. People with pure mind are closer to God. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. So we do have our full 10 minutes. Let's find out if anybody has any questions.
I want to say a couple of things about Premika Guru. Obviously, other than all the other superlatives I can say about him, he definitely prepared, read it beforehand. And you can see the difference in reading those Sanskrit verses, as well as all the words that follows from it. So I'll request anybody who has that Deva next time on, please try to read both Odia and English, especially reading English and trying to read the slokas right then before you have practiced it. Not going to work out. So that is one extra thing you have to do if you are assigned from the Guru. And if you are not willing to do or don't have time to do, let our program sevakas know, Vishwanjan Bhai, etc. And they will adjust. They will find others who can put that effort. So when you put the effort, the product looks much better. Today we started Premi Guru, truly. Before that was preface and Thakur's comments about it. Thakur defined what bhakti is, and bhakti, we have talked about it before, has various stages. The last stage is called Prema Bhakti, is what Thakur is defining it, or bhakti. So starting stage bhakti is not same as what Thakur defines here as Prema Bhakti. And if you read it again and again and again, you'll realize even a small, simple thing like Pranu Bhakti is just having love for Supreme God is Bhakti. Very simply defined, and slowly it kind of goes from there, that you have to completely forget about everything and only think of Him. Then only you achieve that stage of bhakti. So when the initial topic is defined, it's always when you read it, it's very difficult and unachievable, and it will probably feel like that. And especially if you go through Thakur quotes Bhagavad Gita 12th chapter, defining who the Bhakta and dear to Bhagavan is, Adhishta Sarvabhutanam, etc. Read the paragraph following that. Maybe Sanskrit you won't be able to understand, or sometimes if you are not that used to Sanskrit, that may sound difficult. Start reading those. A devoted person is devoid of jealousy, is kind, unattached, egoless, and equanimous to joys and sorrows, forgiving, ever contented, balanced in mind, self-controlled, firm in conviction, etc. Goes on and on, the whole paragraph. Those are the qualities of a devotee. Then Thakur also quotes Bhagavad Gita again, 12th chapter, 6th and 7th sloka, and talks about surrendering all actions to Him, which obviously defines another part of Bhakta. So I'll take a pause. Any questions? Any reading for today? Premi Guru or anything else? Since there is no question, I'll continue. Trying to summarize some of the things we read in the morning, and then thinking that somebody will have some question and will have utilization of this time. Otherwise, I'm not home. Otherwise, I would have had some other books ready to read also. I don't have that right now. So about the greatness of observing control brahmacharya, then about following the truth and achieving the ultimate perfection in the path of truth. But the practice leads through brahmacharya and smruti or dhruti shakti. Achieving that difficult as keeping that state forever. For that, you really need a lot of medha or dhruti shakti. So a thing to hold it and keep it. So for that, advising to follow control, self-control, which makes you achieve that. Since we talked about bhakti a lot today, bhakti and jnana, they are older brother and younger sister, and Thakur explained how jnana actually holds bhakti together. And yesterday, California Pacifica, and we're talking about there's a question. The difference between Jnana Marga and Bhakti Marga and why you need one or the other. Point was Thakur always, even in Prema Guru and other places, his advices and all, he has professed that in that particular realm, you really don't need Jnana, which is what he's saying in Prema Guru. So you can leave Jnana. Jnana is silent in that sense. Not lost, but it's silent. So following the path of devotion, if you are going astray for some reason, Jnana is there to come and protect you. Just like a younger sister. That's a good simile. So, especially with devotion, people can get carried away if they don't have the guardrails, and the knowledge, the jnana, really provides those guardrails. Sometimes people don't translate jnana into knowledge because it's more than that. But just for a colloquial language, and just our Upadesh today is at least one thing I got from that. Thakur said, if you get absorbed in all the rules and regulations, you estrange yourself from the purpose of such rules and regulations. So, point there is there are rules and regulations when you lead a spiritual life. Preliminary practitioners, so that they can guide themselves in a path. So when people get too consumed by those rules and regulations, what happens? They actually forget why the rules and regulations existed in the first place. Again, I said it is for preliminary practitioners. Once people grow out of that, if the rule is given to you by your Sangha, by all means observe it, but don't get too consumed by it. What I mean by getting too consumed is if you take rules as end all be all. Somebody did not observe this rule, that hence that person is not a good person or something like that. Any such deduction leads us in a wrong path. All right, it's almost end of our time, so we'll start young aspirant session a little early, few seconds early. It's not that much. Today is Pratyusha's turn to sing Prarthana Sangeet, please. And our
तुम्हारे दर दे होई जाए दूर तुम करम प्रेमी से होई जाए दूर सहजे मुनि नाची अज्ञानी माता हतारे श्रुता ज्ञाता जड़ाई विमोरा सहजे मुनि नाची अज्ञानी माता दुनिया तरी तुम्हें ईसा पणारो दुनिया तरी तुम्हें ईसा पणारो तुम प्रीति मूल पाई नहीं किसी मोर प्रीति मूल पाई नहीं किसी मोर बड़े छाती सदनी मोरांतर छाती सदनी मोरांतर सहजे मुनि माची अज्ञानी माता भतारे श्रुता ज्ञाता जड़ाई विमोरा सहजे मुनि नाची अज्ञानी माता माया मोड़ी करे हरि जीव कोर माया मोड़ी करे हरि जीव कोर सद्गुरु लखाना में तालिया चबेरा सद्गुरु लखाना में तालिया चबेरा विश्व वंदनिया तब कयरी जुहारा विश्व वंदनिया तब कयरी जुहारा सहजे मुनि नाची अज्ञानी माता सहजे मुनि माखी अज्ञानी माता हतारे श्रुता ज्ञाता जड़ाई विमोरा सहजे मुनि माखी अज्ञानी माता सहजे मुनि माखी अज्ञानी माता
Raising your announcement. I will start with attendance, and after attendance, I'll ask Pratusha or her parents to explain what that song, what the meaning of that song was. Okay. Aditi?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Adhyasa?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Aisi? Anik?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Ansh?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Anshu?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Jeet?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Arun?
जय गुरु माँ आरोन ज्वाइन करनी है जी आरुष
Arush join कर दीजिए.
नहीं नहीं आरुष ज्वाइन करनी है
जय गुरु. Aryan? Jamo?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Gyan?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Devangi?
जय गुरु महाराज देवांगी और सिद्धार्थ पूजा ज्वाइन करना है.
Thank you, Jai Guru. Divya?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. Eva?
Jai Guru Ma. Eva is not feeling well today.
Okay. Jai Guru.
Jai.
Radha?
मैं से बहुत ठीक होने जाएगा चाहिए.
Jai Guru. Mani? Naitik? Pratyusha?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. Pratyush?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. Saraswat?
Jai Guru Ma. Saraswati join little late.
Okay. Sarsa?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Bhakti?
Jai Rama.
Jai Guru. Bobby?
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Shruti?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. Shreya?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. Manu? Jimmy?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. Simran?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. Shrija?
जय गुरु मुनियापा.
Jai Guru. Suhani?
जय गुरु माँ.
Jai Guru. And then Yukta.
जय गुरु.
Jai Guru. Okay. So let's start out with the meaning of that song. Pratyusha, can you explain what the song that you sang was about?
Yes. It was about.
જય ગુરુ માં તમે મોરું નેમ ડાકી નાઓ હું આર્યન.
Aryan? I did. I think it might have been covered. I'll fix that. Jai Guru.
Thank you very much, Patricia. The song means, how shall I thank God about all the things He gave us?
How you can thank God for all the things that He's given us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So that is something that we should always be aware of and think of. So today we're going to continue with our discussion of the yamas. I think it's been about a month and a little over a month, maybe a month and a half since the last time we covered this. So I'll start out with a little bit of a review. So yama is the purification of the inner self. And there were 5 things that we talk about that we need to do that are the 5 yamas. We've talked about 3 so far. And we have another 2 to get through. And I just want to see if we remember what the 3 that we've talked about are called and what they mean. So I'll start with, let's start with Aryan. Aryan, do you remember what one of the yamas that we've talked about is called?
માં હું જાણી નહીં.
Okay. Is there anybody that remembers the 3 that we've covered?
It's Australia. It's Patricia.
One of them is Australia. And do you know what Australia is? seems to be some disturbance on the line. If to make sure that all of the phones are muted, that would be great. So we did talk about Asteya. I think that was the last one you talked about last month. Jemu, do you remember what Asteya is? So Asteya is non-stealing, or getting rid of the desire to take somebody else's property. And then I'll just give you guys the next one. So the weeks before that, we talked about Satya. Let's see. Aditi, do you remember what Satya is?
Jaguru, I think it's truth.
Yes, the Satya is telling the truth at all times. So not lying, basically. If you want to think of it as each of these as not doing something, then Satya is telling the truth or not lying. Very good. And the first one we talked about was called Ahimsa. So, Ansh, do you remember what Ahimsa is?
No.
No? How about Anshu?
I don't remember.
Do you have anybody that remembers?
Jaguru, this is Satya. I think it means non-violence.
That is correct. Ahimsa is non-violent. So far, what we've talked about is with our yamas and niyamas. So right now we're just on yamas, the purification of our inner self. And we've talked about Ahimsa, which is non-violence. We've talked about Satya, which is not lying or telling the truth. And we've talked about Asteya, which is non-stealing, or basically getting the desire to have what other people have. And we've talked about this, but you can choose any one to focus on and to perfect. And if you reach perfection in any one of those, then the others will follow. So you don't have to necessarily think about telling the truth all the time and making sure you're nonviolent and making sure that you're not desiring other people's things, because all of those, while they sound like they should be very simple, can sometimes be difficult when we don't have control over our mind. But if we focus on one, like take a week and decide this is the week that I'm going to make sure that I am telling the truth in all ways, that is a good place to start, and that can be a way to be successful with these. So today, I want to go on to a fourth one. That fourth one is called Brahmacharya. It's a little bit more difficult to understand, so I'm going to read out a couple things about that. So Brahmacharya is defined as the abstinence from material pleasure, and when it is established, a cool divine glow will emanate from your body. And the word Brahmacharya actually comes from two different words. So there's the word Brahma, which is the absolute God, the eternal. It's omnipresent, omniscient. So it is what we talk about when we talk about how Chakra is always with us, he's everywhere. We're talking about that Brahman aspect. And then the second word is Achara, which is composed of char, to go, and toward. So together, the word Brahmacharya means to go towards God, or it means to service God. And so the way that one does that is by focusing on their spiritual life, limiting the amount of time that they are spending thinking about material pleasures or in that non-spiritual realm. So spending as much time as they can doing God's work and thinking of God. In discussing that, what do you guys think it means to limit our time thinking of the material world or to devote ourselves to God? So what does devoting oneself to God mean to Bobby?
Jai Guru, so you just focus on what you have and focus on doing everything that you can for Thakura and think of everything that you do as his work.
So one way to do that is to think of all of your actions as coming from him and what he would want. That's very good. Let's see here. Jimmy, what's another way that you can think of to devote yourself to God?
By praying God and worshiping Him.
Mm-hmm. So how do you, or how would then do you worship God? You personally? This is to you, Jimmy.
By giving him I don't know what to say.
So when you think of when you worship God, what do you do?
Chant a mantra.
Okay.
Chant a mantra.
Yes. And so do you join your parents when they do prayers?
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes like morning, evening prayers, that sort of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go to Susan. How do you devote yourself to God?
I think Thakura with me. Always inside me.
You always keep Thakura with you. That's very good. So all of these sorts of things about devoting your actions to Thakura, keeping him in with you, actually doing prayers to Thakura, those are good times to devote yourself to him completely. Now let's move on to what can make that easier. So those are specific practices that we do, and we can try to keep them in our minds. But what might make it easier for us to remember him in all of the aspects of our lives? Because so many different things go on in our lives. There's a lot happening in the world that sometimes demands our attention, and it can be easier to forget about Thakura, or to forget about all of the things he does for us, or to forget that he is the one that guides us when we're here on earth. So, Jopi, what do you think are good strategies for us to help us remind ourselves that we are here and we need to devote ourselves to God? Okay, not hearing from Shilpi. Saraswati, can you think of any good strategies that we can use to help remind ourselves of God, of Thakura in our daily lives?
When you're stressed out, you can think of Thakura.
All right, so make it a habit to think of him as a kind of calming mechanism.
Yeah.
So having habits like that of when you think of God is a good place to start. What else might be able to help us? Let's go to Jeet.
Maybe you can remember that, that Thakura was the one who Thakura, like you can remember him by doing like the prayers in the morning and night. Yeah.
So building habits of doing prayers in the morning or night.
Yeah.
Have any of your parents told you when you wake up in the morning when you're going somewhere to go do pranam Thakura or inform Thakura of where you're going and when you come back?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. That's another way. So when Bobby said this at first, when we say all of our actions are devoted to Thakura, that's one way to be in this mindset. And part of that is anytime we do something, anytime we go anywhere, we're informing him of that. So that's a good place to start. Then Adhyasa. So these are all we've talked about a lot of habits that we can form where we're thinking of Thakura all the time. What is one way, or what is one thing we can surround ourselves with? So when the world is changing around us, when the world is trying to distract us, or there are all those distractions in the world, what's one thing we're doing right now to think of Thakura?
This is Saraswati. Well, technically we're in Sangha, so that because we're respecting Thakura.
Yeah. So the very fact that being in Sangha with other people that are trying to practice this, that are trying to think of Thakura in their lives, when we are with like-minded people that all want to devote themselves to Thakura, we can help each other with this. So we want to follow Thakura's advice. We want to worship Thakura. We want to have all our actions be what he wants us to do. And we want to spend our time focusing on this spiritual achievement. And so if we're with other people that want to do that, then it's going to make us better. Like for any of you that play sports or you're on any kind of team, it's easier to improve when you have other people that have the same goal as you. And when you lose sight of what you're doing, there'll be somebody right there with you that hasn't and that can remind you or that can help you get back on the path that you need to be on. And such is the power of the Sangha. We can hold each other accountable. We can help each other out. And when one of us is unsure, is working through something, the others will be there to help us and to remind us of what we wanted to do and what we want to be in the end. So to wrap this up, so Brahmacharya is working towards God. Like we've talked about, all of these habits that we have, everything our parents tell us to do when we're worshiping Thakura, all of that is us focusing on our spiritual lives. And if we can slowly remind ourselves to think of Thakura through our lives. So one way we start is when we're stressed out. A lot of us talk about this in our Bhava-Vinayas. We think immediately of Thakura, and we think of what it means to have him in our lives. And that's a great place to start. But when we start bringing him into all parts of our lives, so not just the bad parts, but when we're sharing the good, when we're just living our lives, if he's there in every aspect of it, then it's going to be a lot easier for us to stop thinking about the material world and spend more time devoting ourselves to him. And so with that, we are out of time. And today is Pratyusha's Bhava-Vinaya. So Pratyusha, whenever you're ready.
Today is my Bhava-Vinaya Seva and my first Kedapari. I am very much thankful to Sri Thakur and Saraswata Sangha to give me this opportunity. From very small age I used to go to ashram every Sunday. I am very much inspired from my grandparents and my parents towards Thakur. When we moved to London, I took part in the young aspirant session and I loved to listen to the Bhai and read the small discussion about Thakur. In the last 2 months, I used to read the Sadhguru Swami Nigamananda Young Readers book at the morning and evening. I am very amazed to hear Thakur's life story. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Ananda Thakur Maharaj. This is we're really blessed to have a party today, and we get party once in a year these days. So I just wanted to, I don't know how to start with the Bhava Vinimaya, but thought maybe to share the experience that I had recently that I was going through. Particularly, it's something related to how the life can be so chaos at times, and how Thakur really, forgetting him, it becomes even more chaos. Very in the work life, there have been few things going on, and I was trying to deal with it. When so many things was going on, I was thinking maybe there is not much time to do Kriya or Thakur Puja in the morning or evening. So I was starting to sort of take a shortcut of Thakur's Puja or sometimes skip it, and thinking that I would get a little bit of time to deal with it, of what's going on at the workplace. And then after some time I realized things are going even completely opposite. Instead of getting more time, I'm really getting into more chaos. Then I kind of took a step back. I realized it's not the first time that's happening to me. I've realized this experience before, but even though we learn a lot of things about Thakur and the principles and practice the Kriya for so many few years, why the mind gets into that sort of that mode, and as opposed to kind of first thing supposed to be coming into our mind is to think about kind of offering that to Thakur's lotus feet and have him to give us the direction and the strength to deal with it. That really doesn't happen. At least that is not happening as a first point. It's always in mind. It comes to, okay, let me first deal with it, and then if I can't, then I'll talk to, and then I sort of everything I'll offer to Thakur. So then I, after analyzing few situations and a few days, I realized it's really one thing that I'm not doing a good job is to really live in the present. When I'm here in NSM, my mind and my soul and everything should be here 100%. Not that physically I'm here, but mentally I need to be here. And the same thing with whether at home or at work, whatever I'm doing, I have to be at least oriented in a way that I'm present for that moment, as opposed to thinking about the past or thinking about what will happen in the future. That living in the presence is something that Thakur has always advised us in terms of how we can lead that life in a human way. We are all human beings, but we are really not, I'm at least not trying to live in like a human being, but thinking that trying to accomplish a lot of things in short amount of time. So that is what, my recent experience has been, that whatever I do, how do I really take that moment and offer that time to Thakura so that, and then really follow through his guidelines and through the flow, whatever it comes. Just that sense of getting that into the head and practicing it, it's so difficult, even though it's we read it all the time, but it's so difficult to practice it. And this type of setback or this type of experience is really forcing in a way that I felt this is part of the sadhana, I guess, because without that your own experience, listening to Thakura's Bani and following, that's one good thing, and also listening to other bhakta and their members, their experience is another thing. But when you go through or I go through this experience, it's a very, very different experience, and how soon we deal with it and how soon we really understand that it is the maturity of the sadhana and how the progress of sadhana that we are in, the path we are into. And after realizing and analyzing the experience, I felt really it's very difficult to even say what is the progress I'm making in the spiritual life. The only progress that I can think of is to see whether I'm remembering him in that present situation or not. And so one thing from that I've started to practice very recently is to offer everything that's going on with on his lotus feet, and how I can even remember every single moment, whatever moment I'm in, at least in the back of my mind. If I can remember him, then I think that I'll feel very blessed. And I offer and I beg, pray Thakura that to give me the strength to really to lead me in that journey. And then as I'm going through this and reading his books, I think that will enforce my own learning and the path of that we are trying to progress. Jai Guru.
जय गुरु। प्राणर ठाकुर महाराज समस्त भक्त भाई और माँ माने जहाँ भाई कहले वर्ष को थरे ही ठाकुर पूजार पाली मिलूँ, सेवा करने पाली मिलूँ। ठाकुर कृपा लास्ट डिसेम्बर विंटर रे आमे घर को मूव कलु, जदियो इनिशियली आई हैड लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रॉन्ग डिसलाइक, बट लास्ट मार्च मासरू आज पर्यंत माने घर सामने एते फूल होउछि मु ठाकुर को डेली जेतेबेले सकाळे फूल तोड़ी ठाकुर को दिए, माने लगे कि माने आई एम सो ब्लेस्ड। माने कन्स्टांटली किछि ना किछि फूल कन्स्टांटली होउछि। जेतेबेले माँ माने संघ पूजा कहती कि ठाकुर को माल देली बने की बगीचा काढ़ी, माने मत लगे रियली पॉसिबल कि किंतु मु भी आज ठाकुर को प्रति रविवार दिन दे पारे एते मंदार फूल हो माने गोटे भी पारनी। सो माने आई फील रियली ब्लेस्ड कि ठाकुर को डेली फ्रेश फूल दे पारछि। जस्ट कहवाक चाहूली कि लाइक एज ए ह्यूमन बीइंग, मे बी ड्यू टू past lives, so many lives of sanskara, we are born with so many material desire, and even if ame bahare express करुनी किंतु सेटा गोटे अस्थि मज्जागत हो जाइए। माइंड रे सब बेले किछटा जिंस लाइक फिक्स लगुछि, लाइक फिक्स हबार अछि, लाइक कि लाइक मोते एमती गोटे जॉब हेले आई विल बी मतलब मो लाइफ सेटल हो जाय थांता, बा मोर एमती गोटे घर हेले आई वुड बी मोस्ट हैप्पी और समथिंग लाइक दैट। किंतु से जिनसटा माने सब जिन हमको परफेक्ट दरकार, वी फील इट लाइक दैट, बट सेटा हुए नी इन रियल लाइफ रे। एंड जेतेबेले हुएनी सेतेबेले बहुत दुख हुए किंतु आमे सेठी ठाकुरंकर ता पछरे कोन ठाकुरंकर महान इच्छा अछि सेटा आमे बिल्कुल बुझी पारनु तापरे ठाकुर ए संसार एमिति बना है जे कि माने ह्यूमन रो 100% मटेरियल डिजायर केबे भी फुलफिल हे पारिबनी बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट द अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हैप्पीनेस द एक्चुअल हैप्पीनेस इज ठाकुर सो तांको आमे तांको ही जेतेबेले भाबिबा तांको ही जेतेबेले मन रे स्मरण करिबा सेटा ही हैप्पीनेस सो सेठी पई संसारटा बना है विथ ऑल दिस पॉजिटिव एंड नेगेटिव so that we will understand this life and we'll know the actual reality and we should pursue our actual source जोठी हमर सोर्स से डायरेक्शन में जिबा दरकार आ ए जिनसटा हमें बहुत सुनुचे जानूचे पढ़ुचे तथापि जेतेबेले रियल लाइफ रे अप्लाई करिया हो सेतेबेले हमें बिल्कुल भूली जाउचे लाइक सिमिलरली हमर माने संसार प्रति पिलांग प्रति डिफरेंट जिंस प्रति बहुत अटैचमेंट रहउची से जा फल रे कि हमर फोकस टा भी चेंज होची वी आर नॉट फोकसिंग द रियलिटी जोटा हमें करिया दरकार ठाकुरंग प्रति जोटा रहिया दरकार सेटा हे पारुनी सो कोठी ओटे पढ़ी थिली लाइक it was written like that like world is like a bridge just cross over it but never build a home on it so माने आमे संसार को अटैच न होए कि ता सहित माने आमे जस्ट भाबिबा दिस इज अ जर्नी एंड इन दिस जर्नी हाउ वी कैन अपलिफ्ट आवरसेल्फ एंड मोर गेटिंग मोर क्लोजर एंड क्लोजर टू ठाकुर सेटा हमरो मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव हवा दरकार जदियो आमे जानूचे बट सेटा डेली लाइफ रे प्रैक्टिस हे परनी सो ठाकुर कमल चरण रे मोर एतिकी प्रार्थना ठाकुर सब निजर आमको सेवा करिया सुजोग दियंतु और ए जिनसटा जेपरे मन रहू कि तुम्हें ही हमर सब किछि and we are just a part of one of the a sansara just a part to continue to reach more towards you so that's it सेटा ही कहबा को चाहे कि आज रखुची जय गुरु
जय गुरु परम ठाकुर माज आपण को हमर द्वितीय अधिवेशन परे मध्याह्न भोग पई निमंत्रण करूछु तापरे मध्याह्न भोग परे समस्त भक्त भाई माँ माने पिला माने नेशन प्रसाद पाइबे आपण निमंत्रण करूछु जय गुरु तापरे प्रभु आपण को संध्या पूजा 7:30 पई आज निमंत्रण करूछु संध्या पूजा रे जगते आपण को हमर को आपण को बाणी सुने जय गुरु प्रांत ठाकुर महाराज
शिल्पी अच्छा कि इनवाइट करेंगे वॉइस सेशन पे
हाँ जय गुरु I invite ठाकुर Bhai, Ma, and young aspirant for the upcoming Puja session on October 29th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time.
जय गुरु देखो पूरा शिल्पींकर पूजा पाठी मु आपण को एवं समस्त भक्त भाई पिला मानक निमंत्रण करछि संघ पूजा रे जोग दे पूजाटी को सफलमेंट करिवे एवं हमको सेवार जय गुरु
जय गुरु आज आमर मोर 25 श्रीमांकर पाळीला समस्त भक्त तरफ समस्ते जो मैंने भक्त थे सेवारे समस्त तरफ जान अजाण जदि प्रभु आपंकर किसी भूल से आमको क्षमा करूँ। जय गुरु।
जय टे कह जय गुरु। आज प्रेमिक गुरु पढ़ला मु भाविली म्यूट कर फोन टा देन I asked something, I said something, then realized that Niluma stopped for a second. So sorry for the distance. I beg for forgiveness. ठाकुर को थल और समस्त जय गुरु सिंह के बिना हो लिया चेष्टा करी। जय गुरु।
जय गुरु ज्ञान भाई।
जय गुरु। दयामय श्री चरणे एहि निवेदन दयामय श्री चरणे एहि निवेदन निरंतर तब नाम करिबि स्मरण निरंतर तब नाम करिबि स्मरण एहा चढ़ा नर शिव इतर कामना एहा चढ़ा नर शिव इतर कामना एहि मात्र भिक्षा मोर एतिकी प्रार्थना एहि मात्र भिक्षा मोर एतिकी प्रार्थना तुमे प्रभु मुहि दास यही अहंकार तुमे प्रभु मुहि दास यही अहंकार एकमात्र जीव प्रबल संस्कार प्रभु एकमात्र जीव प्रबल संस्कार एति लगी जेबे काले न मिले मुक्ति एति लगी जेबे काले न मिले मुक्ति तथापि रखिबि मने अनंत सुपति तथापि रखिबि मने अनंत सुपति तुमरी दृष्टि भीतरे तुमरी जगते तुमरी दृष्टि भीतरे तुमरी जगते पढ़ी जही तही मरी इंगिते प्रभु पढ़ी जही तही मरी इंगिते ग्रंथ परे रचनार अभिनव रूप ग्रंथ परे रचनार अभिनव रूप देखी देखी आसिब फल स्वरूप प्रभु देखी देखी आसिब फल स्वरूप इड़ाई न पारे जेबे जंतेश्वर इड़ाई न पारे जेबे जंतेश्वर में बाई गंगा मोर तब नामे बाई गंगा मान शुणु केहि शिव प्रभु दास की संस्कार चरणे करे निवेदन प्रेममय चरणे करे निवेदन तुम जय गाउथिबी सारा जीवन तुम जय गाउथिबी सारा जीवन नाथ तुम जय गाउथिबी सारा जीवन चरणे करे निवेदन प्रेममय चरणे करे निवेदन तुम जय गाउथिबी सारा जीवन तुम जय गाउथिबी सारा